This is not the start of a crime-fighting effort. This is the acceleration of a crime-fighting effort. My final word is that I believe that Memphis's greatest days are ahead of them, and this is a very important component and a part of that.
Those words coming from Governor Bill Lee as of Friday, as he announced not only the National Guard, but representatives from 13 federal agencies would be arriving in Memphis, Tennessee today or sometime this week. Today, the Bluff City is the latest to see an influx of law enforcement from Washington, similar to what we've seen in Washington, D.C. in recent months. Joining us now to weigh in is Shelby County Commissioner Charlie Caswell. Charlie, always glad to have you back on 3 at 3. I know you just got back from D.C. Before we get into your trip, let's talk about the National Guard and these other agencies coming to Memphis. What are your thoughts on that?
Again, Alex, my thoughts is that people in our city, they want to feel safe. They want to feel safe in their homes, in their communities, in their neighborhoods, to be able to take their children out. So that's the first thing that I say about that. The second thing, when you talk about the National Guard, even what I heard on the ground in D.C. was a lot of it was for show. It wasn't, they didn't see the deterrence of what they were doing, interacting with everybody, with people every day in the streets. So again, we didn't ask for the National Guard. They're yet coming here. We see by a governor who's partnered with the Trump administration to bring this. I wish a lot of other resources would have came before this, because we know that the deep root cause of what's happening in our community is poverty for generations and decades, and affordable housing, and so many other disinvestments that have not happened up into this. And so I hope that the same urgency that the governor sees for suppression, we see for prevention and intervention.
And Commissioner, one thing I heard you say at one of the recent county commission meetings, you said you don't want to see any tanks and all coming through Memphis. What do you mean by that?
I mean, even in our community and neighborhood, that ain't what our children need to see every day. You know, if they was doing it at a field trip or wanted to be in military, yes. But if you're talking about just in our neighborhoods and communities, that's not going to get it. I think special op units such as the FBI, TBI, the Highway Patrol, the sheriff and local police targeting in on those hot spots, those where we know the violent criminals are, that's the way to get it done. Everything else, I believe, is just for show.
Again, you recently took a trip just as of last week, just got back to Memphis yesterday from Washington, D.C. What did you see up there? Who did you get a chance to kind of communicate with and talk with about what's going on with the National Guard in D.C.?
So, Alex, I went all over talking to people about just their experience with having it. I can say this from my first day, and I stayed down near the White House. I walked all over. I didn't see any National Guard troops the first couple of days I was there. I eventually seen them maybe Friday or Saturday around by the convention center, walking around, where it freed up, from my understanding, just talking with some of the people, officers who would have been there, now out in those communities, enforcing law enforcement in those areas. So it gave them some kind of backup by having National Guard troops there instead of regular officers. But
did you kind of get a gauge from some of the citizens there if they liked it, or they felt a bit threatened by them being there, or what?
A lot of they felt threatened. Even the people that worked in the hotels that were immigrants that said they were legal. They were saying there was days that they didn't even want to go home because they didn't want to get pulled over and taken into custody just for the fact because they were immigrants. So that type of fear that was there, even hearing from some of the bars and restaurants that it impacted them, to some of them even closing. So it had an economic impact on that city as well.
So, Commissioner, how can this be a win-win for Memphis? Because all eyes are going to be on our city, especially whenever those troops and others arrive here.
So I just say this, is that whatever resources being brought in by those federal agents, that it do give our sheriff and police officers opportunity to work together, really hone in on these areas in our community so that we can create a safe, healthy, and nurturing environment for the people in our community. That's what I see in the short term. In the long term is that we as a community have to invest. I said it before, we failed as a county commission not to make investments in our budget that go to the root cause, because here we sit in a red state in a country that's ran by the Republicans that is not sending resources into our community. So that means we have to make these investments ourselves in schools where teachers are paid a better wage, in our community where we need to invest for children can feel safe in their community. We got to make those investments, because it's not coming from Superman or nowhere else. It got to come from us.
I know it may be too late now, but was there enough pushback here from some of our city leaders, county leaders? Obviously, the governor did not push back, to say the least, but should there have been more, like maybe what we saw in Chicago?
Yeah, and I said this before, what we seen in Chicago was a blue state, a governor who bagged up the mayor of that city because they hold the purse strings to funding that community. In this city, we do not have that control and that capacity. So yes, we can push back, but yet we still see the place that we stand in, that if they're coming, how do we work together and utilize this to maximize not only the suppression side, but prevention and intervention side.
For them coming, though, I guess today Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris tweeted and kind of questioned the constitutionality. Can the governor really send troops to Memphis, Tennessee, or any other city for that matter? How do you see that? Is this legal, you think?
Speaking of the legal, so this is something we had in executive session, talking with our attorneys. I know they're waiting some outcomes coming from California to see how they proceed forward with this. We have to have a base to stand on because, again, this is unprecedented, right? So this didn't happen since the civil rights days when this happened before. So to see this happening now, we have to have a basis to build off of that legal. I think what he put out is a good point. We just got to see how we can fight that issue going forward.
Because part of what he was saying, he was citing the state constitution, which says the militia shall not be called into service except in case of a rebellion or invasion. And as far as many of us know, neither one of those has happened.
Neither is happening, and yet I know that you hear an outcry from people. I was at a victims a symposium a couple of weeks ago where many in that community said, we've been need them here because I lost my family members to a drive-by shooting. In my neighborhood, over 200 shots went into homes in a drive-by shooting. We've seen 14-year-olds shot at a gas station walking. So we do see a lot of violence in our community that need to be addressed. I just don't believe that the National Guard is going to help us address that. Yet at the same time, I believe those federal resources that help us target those individuals who are the violent criminals in our community is going to help us.
One last thing here on a totally different subject. Regional One, brand new campus, $1 billion investment, if not a little bit more. What are your thoughts? Is this the right use of money? Do we need to put that focus on Regional One as opposed to a new Shelby County jail?
I say most definitely Regional One is needed. We don't have another trauma center like this from a mile, hundreds of miles from here. Regional One is one we got the asset we got to protect. We already know that the ICU is so bad over there. Now you got seniors laying in the hallway when we got too many people that's been shot inside of the 4 and 5 rooms that they have there for trauma. So it is most definitely needed on that end. Then when you talk about the incubator for our babies that is born premature, that's most definitely needed. So I believe this is a great investment for such a time as this, and I'm supportive of this item.
County Commissioner Charlie Caswell, glad to have you back home. Glad to have you back on 3 at 3.
Yes, sir.
We'll do it again.
We will.
All right, we're going to take a short break. Back in a moment.